brand new day. Fellow Liberians, vote Joseph Boaka for the continued development in Liberia for better life. EJ, I'm back. Love Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Vote Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Teach Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Pay Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Love Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Teach Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Pay Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Vote Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Tete Bole, you're giving. Bisa Bole, you're giving. Easy Gela, you're giving. You're giving. The control giant cameo. See Joseph Boaka. See my Nukwe. See Joseph Boaka. See my Nukwe. For peace and unity, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
Electricity, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
For say drinking water, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
For education, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
For fair play and justice, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
For agriculture, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
For development, you're level for Joseph Boaka.
Joseph Boaka.
Says Maureen, Mama, my people, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
Hey, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
Hey, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
My people, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
Hey, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
Hey, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
My people, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
Hey, your level.
For Joseph Boaka.
Love Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Teach Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Pay Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Love Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Teach Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Pay Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Vote Liberia.
Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka.
Niba Kante. Sano Kante. Lofa Kante. Bon Kante. Rangile Kante. Sano Kante. Mewele Kante. Everybody Kante. Magibi Kante. Wenku Kante. Robases Kante. Bapolu Kante. Wenkema Kante. Wembaso Kante. Monsoaro Kante. Monsoaro Kante. Niba Kante. Sano Kante. Lofa Kante. Bon Kante. Wengile Kante. Sano Kante. Mewele Kante. Everybody Kante. Magibi Kante. Wenku Kante. Robases Kante. Bapolu Kante. Wenkema Kante. Wembaso Kante. Monsoaro Kante. Monsoaro Kante. Jojo. Tantan. Tamauna. Says Maureen. Saboaka. Nyamatin. Edwin Melvin Snow. Woman pay. Pate Cheme. I'm back. Huh. Unity party. Oh yeah. Break it down. Break it down. Break it down. Male male ma. Male 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 mama ma. Male male ma. Male 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 mama ma. Male male ma. Male ma. Male ma. Male ma. Male ma. Male ma mama mama. Male ma mama mama. Male ma. Joseph Boaka. Oh yeah. Let's go. Again. Take it there. Take it. Oh, take it down. Take it. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. Take it up. Take it up. Take it up. bine insa osa ripam panam pam. Ibine insa ripam panam pam. Joseph Boaka bine insa osa ripam panam pam. Ibine osa love Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Vote Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Teach Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Pay Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Love Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Teach Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Pay Liberia.
Joseph Boaka, Joseph Boaka,
Vote Liberia.
Joseph Boaka.
My people your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
Hey your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
Hey your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
My people your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
Hey your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
Hey your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
My people your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
Hey your level.
Vote for Joseph Boaka.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the phone. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much.
Auditing WFP. That man government made me announce that the money was given to. What happened? My same government came to me and said, yeah, you announced it. I said, well, the Constitution is very clear. That monies that come from state coffers will have to be accounted for. I was blasted out and told not to talk that again. And it's in the Constitution. You don't give money, state resources to anybody. Even the president's speech that's coming on, he has to explain. So what do we do? I was blasted out. I'll let it go. Does anybody know any audit report or anything from the 30 million? The answer is no. The $25 million mop-up. And when the issue came, I was told, I was the deputy minister, I was told to tell the country that WFP is an international organization, therefore they cannot be subject to audit. I said, but Liberia put money, I can not audit. But again, like I said, I was blasted out. 16 billion mop-up exercise. The 16 billion, sorry. I went to Nathaniel Petrie and had a clear explanation of that money and what had happened. And that our country's currency in circulation was about 17.5 billion. So it was not possible for the 16 billion to get missing. Then me, our country money gone. So I got to learn that there were extra money printed and that was that money that got missing. And it was proven in the two reports. Did we dwell on that? Not much. The $25 million mop-up exercise. What did we focus on? We focused on 17.5 million. But nobody focused on the fact that the two reports clearly stated that the money was taken outside of the banking institutions and changed on the street. Now listen to this. The reason was that there was no money in the bank, I was told. The banking institutions did not have the money. That Fula people, Indian people, and other people were keeping the monies in their houses and changing it on the street. Now let's get one thing clear. How do you change 17.5 billion US dollars? I'm talking about the quantum of money, meaning that kind of money, US dollar, cash money. How do you change it outside? And you change it here. Now let's come to the auditors. As government spokesperson, I have always been the one to ask questions because I have always been the one to sit behind the microphone. And James Goody, I hope you're cutting that clip from 4 hours, just as I show it today on my stuff. You go to 2 and then up to about 5, right in between there you will get it. You go, they will call you, for example, and say, oh, we got some issue, yada, 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 X, Y, Z. And as a spokesperson for the government, it's your job. If they tell you that, oh, the auditors died this way, as a spokesperson, you can't go say, oh, I will talk my own thing. That's not normal. But let's start with Bate Niswa. The day before Bate died, I was one of those. If he saw 1,000 people, I was one of those that he saw. I was in my girl's fence when he came. He came with a dandy report, which he told me about. I'm just going to make it fast. It was a folder. The under part was blue, but they're plastic. And the top part was clear plastic. But the under part was blue hard plastic. And he told me it was an audit report. He confided in me that what was in the audit report was damning. Very damning. And I will always have these big guys to go and see my girl. Because the place was always packed to capacity. So I'm one of those who was privileged to go in, come out anytime I want to. So I went and told McGill that Bate was there. And that Bate said he had an audit report and hadn't. McGill said let him wait. McGill was dealing with people. I know what Bate told me concerning the damning things that were in the report. One had to do with the port. So when I went in the second time and McGill could not see Bate, and Bate said, my man, I'll come back tomorrow. I said, okay, then I'll just tell McGill you'll come back tomorrow. That was it. The next morning, I went to pick up Nathaniel McGill, and we normally do our stretch right in the yard. We go for a walk. We went for our walk, and while on our walk, we got the call that Bate had passed away. We were both shocked. How it happened? They said he fell from up was the initial report we got. I was asked to go and announce stupidity. That's how we call it here today. And I said, no, there has to be a report. The police have to give us initial findings on what happened, what didn't happen. We have to know. But McGill was very distraught. He was very disturbed at that news. We did not end our walking. We came back. McGill does not normally go with his phone. So again, when that happened, we came back trying to put together the pieces. It wasn't making sense to anybody. While we Bate Niswa go to Calabash and get drunk to the point where he can't walk, who drove him home? That question today cannot be answered. When Bate left his house to go to Calabash with the friends, who did he leave behind? When he came back to his house and he claimed the step, who carried him upstairs? He was? If he was that drunk? But Bate, who is Bate? Who got his own house? Don't know where the bathroom is. The story we were getting from the initial report, they said he woke up to go pee-pee and he used the side door from where he fell. Who was there to know that he wanted to go pee-pee? How did they manage to know he was going to pee-pee? Those were questions that could not be answered as spokesperson for the government. Why, when Bate fell from that elevation of the door to the ground, how did Bate's body appear out the distance that it appeared? As spokesperson for the government, and you have a smart journalist, these are questions that you have to answer. Because when you put together the pieces, it does not make sense. He had lived in our house forever. No matter how he was drunk, how did he get up? Who put him in the room if he was that drunk? Okay, fast forward. I don't want to waste my time. Let's go to Gifty. May their souls rest in peace. When asked again, I had similar questions. Who was the first to speak? The president. What did the president say about them? Apparently they were making love in the car. That threw the whole debate from the reality on the ground. And people who know about it, I'm challenging them to speak to it. Once the president said that, we didn't know where to start from now to talk. But there were questions. Here are some of the questions. What were Gifty and what he were working on, the other auditor? They were working on a very damning report from different entities, including the port being the main one. Now, what happened? According to government explanation, they said, oh, the man called a woman, this and that. As spokesperson for the government, I had a couple of questions to ask. And I saw that people were chasing me like, you want to know too much and stuff. But the truth of the matter is, if two persons sat in a car up Broad Street, and the windows were up, and there were no air coming in somehow, under the carbon monoxide, how is it possible that somebody sitting in the car will not know that they are choking? Two persons sitting in the car will not know, all two of them, that they are choking. How is it that they will not even be able to bring the window down? How is it that they will not even open the car door? How is it that two of them will sit and die in the seat with the seat belt on? How is it there will be unexplained circumstances to these deaths? I was chief spokesperson. I am supposed to answer pressman question. What happens if these questions come about? So again, when the government say Bate dropped as a result of falling, that's the government's stuff. And that he went out with friends to drink, And they came back and he went upstairs and he was sleeping. He woke up to go pee and he drowned. That is it. The two auditors. If you were a press person or a spokesperson, you going to stand in front of people and tell them these two people sat in the car. Even though they were choking, they never wound the glasses down. They never opened the door. They just sat there and died like fools. And both of them died at the same time. Will he be able to explain that as a press person? So if good day got mine, tip, let him play. I can say to anybody, there were circumstances that I, as deputy minister, that I sat behind the microphone or stood behind the microphone. There were things I had to grapple with. And yes, I told Kev, you will know how to die because the time is not far. For example, I'll go with the last one not to bore anybody here. On the county tour, Ledger, who was given 5,000 for the government information team, he took Kwame Weeks, split the money with him from Lena, and they left me behind. My girl asked me to come along. My girl felt that I was not treated fairly. I'm the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs. How is President going on a county tour that you need a man who's supposed to talk to the press behind? So my girl said, my man, ride with me, let's go. We got in my girl car. We went on a trip. In Ganta, I repeat, the foreign minister, everybody lining up to go to the president, came to my gate car, tap on the window, and say, Fagon, I need to explain something serious to Maggie. So let me ride with Maggie, please. While we go, I will explain it to him. It's very serious. It's a national issue, blah, blah, blah. So I look at Maggie and said, he said, you can ride my car. Ride my car. Yeah, right there. Just go ride my car. So in Ganta, I got down. He's a senior minister. I went to his car. It was a white Toyota Land Cruiser. And the seat there in that thing is hard like plank. I sat in the car. But for some reason, I don't know what came over me. I know I wasn't feeling comfortable. There was a guy sitting in the front seat. I don't know if he's EPS or what. I don't know. But he was in the front seat. So I sat for a while. And you know they can be lining up the cars in the way and manner in which they should proceed in the convoy. Then I said, no, I can't do this. And I got down. Because I was not comfortable. I took a ratting car and I left and kept to Banga on my way to Monrovia. The next morning I get a call from Kina telling me that one EPS officer case. The first thing I expressed was shock. I was very shocked. I'm like, hey man, you know, you feel bad. But what happened? How you case said? Y'all gotta go announce that the EPS officer case said. Now I told her, no, madam, it don't work like that. The EPS officer case said, how? Why? Where? And she said, y'all just go to. She just cut the phone off. She was angry. And I was trying to tell Kev, have you been in my shoes? The first news that came up, EPS officer case said, okay, fine. How? Then later, the story started to evolve and the story started to change. Now he was going mentally insane, and then he posed a threat to the president live, and then the Arabia, yada, yada, yada. Have you been in my shoes? There are questions today that need answers, and by the grace of God, those answers will come one day. And
Fagon,
yes,
thank you.
it.
Thank you very much. I have some lawyer friends texting me because of what you are saying today. They believe that you are reopening the file.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that you can serve as a family state witness to the investigation when they reopen the file. Are you looking to do something like that? Will you be willing to testify to what you believe, what you know, what you have heard?
Stanton, what I say here tonight is what I'll stand by. I was one of the last person who saw Bate Niswa, and I don't believe Bate went out to drink, get drunk, can't even get back to his house. Based on what Bate told me and what I saw in Bate's hand, I believe that Bate Niswa was murdered.
So my last question before I bring the rest of the folks in. If you think, and I was just focus on THINK, if you think that they were murdered, if you think that somebody killed them, to be blunt, if you think somebody entered Batiyan's home and killed him, put those people in the car, then I will ask you, give me one good reason. I know you have explained a lot. Why you think they were murdered? Just one. The main purpose of why you think and who you think they have done such a thing.
No. I will not say who I think. No. Let the investigation produce that person.
So why you think
That's
so?
my thought. Now,
so why you
as
think
to
so?
why I think they were murdered, because if Bate can look at me and tell me that the report in his hands was damning, and the only person he could share it with was McGill, and not just put it out there, it means that they have uncovered massive corruption that, in my opinion, only a man like McGill could have seen. Secondly, let me tell you something that happened. I've been in that situation all the time. On one separate occasion, the little guy from EPA, what's the labor name? Not labor per se, but he's the deputy. If you recall, there was a spillage from the LPRC from a tanker that caused serious environmental.
Oh, okay, no problem. No problem. So, madam, I'd like to welcome you again.
Thank you.
And I'd like you to start off by introducing yourself and then your relationship to the late Melvin.
My name is Ruth Park Pittman Papai, and I'm his aunt.
And you are?
Grace Pittman, I'm his aunt.
First cousin.
So, ma'am, tell us, you guys will have to start on telling us why you here today.
Okay, we are here to speak out on the murder of our son. For us, our family, it was murder. We have reached the conclusion that our son was murdered. We're not accepting any suicide. Our son was murdered. And we are only here so that government can be able to tell us why he was murdered and who murdered him.
Who was Melvin prior to his death?
Melvin was a gentle giant. Melvin was very lovable, kind, funny, gentle. Melvin was everybody's friend. That's who Melvin was. A gentle giant.
What was your last interaction with Melvin prior to his death?
The last interaction with Melvin was on the phone. Before Melvin left to go up on the tour with the president, he called, and that was a tradition he had. He called his grandmother and asked for prayer. He did that all the time. And that was the last time he called and he was going on the tour with the president, and we should pray for him. That was the last time. That was the last time.
You earlier spoke about raising Melvin, helping to raise Melvin. What sort of child did you know him from his childhood to be?
Melvin lost his mother when he was under 3 years old. So we raised Melvin, his mother's family, we raised him. His mother was the sister between two of us. She was next to me. And Melvin, we raised him in that family in a Christian home. This is the first cousin right here. All of these kids were raised together. Melvin had never had any problem. He was raised as a normal child. Loving and caring. That's who Melvin was. And when he became a young man, he went into the world with the same attitude. Today, you will see people talk about Melvin all over. They will give you that character of Melvin. That's why when people come to us and tell us that our son killed himself, this family, no matter where you take us, this family is not going to accept that our son, he's not even capable of killing a fly. He's going to kill himself? No. If our son wanted to kill himself, he was a trained officer, he would have taken a single bullet. He would not torture himself by shooting all over his body. Who would want to torture themselves? And the circumstances surrounding this death is what really have the family to say, our son did not kill himself, and we want to know who killed him and why. That's why.
What have you been told by the government?
They say he committed suicide. The family said, no. Capital N-O, no. He did not commit any suicide. The people took Mary's life, and we won't answer for that. He will not serve his country for 15 years on a decent record. Then you kill him and want to bury him for that record to go into history? No wonder. We want our son's name to be clear. He never killed himself. We want justice for Mary. They must clear Mary's name. Then the government got the nerve to come to us after they killed our son. It took 2 weeks. Nobody came to us to even say, "Oh, you're sorry." Nobody came to us to say anything to us, to even officially explain to us how our son died. That has not happened from government yet. But 2 weeks after his death, they come to us to ask about his burial. 3 weeks after his death, they come to say they can only embalm him.
Have you seen the body of Bevan?
I've seen the body. I've seen the body of Bevan. And the body I saw, he had dressing on this side of his head, he had dressing here, and he had a dressing here. When I looked on his abdomen, I saw a hole through his shirt. I saw a hole there. When I was trying to go lower to the legs, we were not allowed to go that far. And we left the funeral home. So those things are assault on my son. I'm sorry. I need a different answer than the suicide. We're not going to settle. This family will not settle for any kind of suicide. They must clean up the record that he did for this government. He lived his life. This is a man who put his life on the line when you are working with the president. Do you know that a bullet comes that the bullet guys can take bullet for the president? Now this is the man who is laying down his life for his country. Then he stayed all night working. He was not a madman. He worked all night guarding his president. He was not a madman. But suddenly in the morning, he gets mad, he takes a gun, and he kills himself. Does that make any sense to anybody? It does not make sense to us. So we're not buying that.
Have you been able to talk to any of Melvin's close friends, confidant?
All of Mary's friends that we know, even the ones that were dancing at his wedding just in October, they danced there in the ring. Not a single one has called to say sorry, nor have anybody come to us, including government that said, nobody has been to us. Nobody has been to us to sympathize with us. It was only, I think, like last 2 weeks after his death that they sent their low-class EPS people to come find out about his burial. After they posted on the Executive National website that they were investigating, they have not come back to us to tell us the result of the investigation, but they have come back to tell us, hey, the kid will come find out how you're going to bury him. The body has not even been turned over to us. Government still has his body. Tomorrow we'll make it 3 weeks. Government still has that body.
I mean, some people are concerned about why have you been so quiet for a while since the incident, the family now.
Yeah.
Why has the family been so quiet?
You see, that's exactly what the family is, a quiet family. But the reason why we have been sitting back, from the day of Melvin's death news when it hit us, his wife has been in hiding. His wife has been terrified and has been in hiding. So if we are going to protect our daughter, we can't come to the public, hoping that it was just going to be few days thing. But now, with 3 weeks tomorrow. And
Why is she in hiding? Why?
The reason she's in hiding, I can't speak to that. It is maybe we'll say, well, security issue or something like that. Yeah, so
Who's
I
after
can't
her?
speak to that. Still a security issue. Yeah, still a security issue. Yeah.
Have you been able to talk to his immediate boss, the late Melvin immediate boss?
The EPA boss,
Yeah.
he does not even want to know whether we exist. He does not even want to know if Melvin is dead. This EPA boss has never contacted us to come and sympathize with us. He has never been there.
Has the president
He has
called
never
you?
been. The president, It's the same as the EPS. They all work on the same role. They are all operating on the same direction. Nobody has called. President has not called. EPS has not called. They have not been there. They have not even sent a half-hour delegation to come and see what us. That has not even happened yet.
Who's the most senior officer that has visited you as family?
We don't have any yet. I'm not sure. Because what happened was, the people who they sent from the EPS that ready. When I tell you the way we train there, since this is live, it means something, but the people who came to us from EPS, they don't have no answers for us. And I don't think they really have a higher position in EPS. There are some low-class people. Like everybody is afraid to come. So they like you collect the janitor. No, we're not going there. You pack the janitor and the sweepers, then you say you're good, and they prosecute you for us. That's how you see it. Because they see Bushy as a chicken. They don't see him as an officer who served his country for 15 years. They don't see him as that. Because if they were seeing him in that life, they would treat the family better than that. Yeah.
While serving under the previous government, I mean, what was the mental state of your son?
Our
Honor
son
Eddie Johnson Sterling.
has always been sound, normal person. Not a day that we have had anything whatsoever, any message, any regarding our son. He's just been a normal human being. As he grew up a normal kid, he was still a normal person until they took his life.
Did he have a child?
He had 3 children, but with his wife, he had one son who was only 4 years old. And these people come to us and tell us, say, 3 weeks after they have killed our son, and they come to us and tell us, say, oh, we will just embalm him. We just embalm him. We want to know how our son was killed and why. And we're ready for it now.
And how are you going to go about that?
Anyway, we have to go and take placards and go out there, we'll go out there. We go to civil society, we're going to civil society. Anywhere that we can find help to clear our son's need. That's what we want to do now. You understand that a woman gave birth to him after carrying him 9 months and he was not a chicken.
So, I mean, others who have called for specific kind of investigation to show proof of death. I mean, even though we've been told he was shot, or he shot himself rather. I mean, do you want further, like some would say, autopsy done on the body, or do you want to?
From where we are now, like earlier on, we were not looking to autopsy. He was shot. If they had told us earlier on that they shot our son, they were going to be done. But since they say he killed himself, just open the door for anything. As the family go on, I can make decision for the entire family, and his wife is still out there. So they will have to come here and decide what they really want to do.
So, ma'am, I mean, I know you have your experience with the late, personal experience with Melvin prior to his death.
Yes.
And what was that?
Melvin was a lovely person. He loved everybody and cared for everybody. There was not a day if you go out there and ask friends that maybe made anyone to feel bad. My last interaction with Melvin, I went to his house so 3 weeks before he died. And he was cooking rice. And when I said Bushy, that's how we call him, Bushy. I said Bushy.
Honorable Legislator, let me ask you one question.
Go ahead.
If I had a gun right now and gave you to shoot your own head, or if you had a gun, when you shoot your head, what will happen to you? You are dead. Can you shoot yourself on the head 3 times? So what happened in Tabata? You lie. The truth needs to be told. Why can I sign your agreement? Do you believe I thought I saw the sheep? Do you believe that the revenue officials, top people, beautiful cars, both of them married and left their wife and husband home, and they were called to review something that ended up in their debt. And they come and say they were in the car having sex? Is there no hotel on Broad Street? If not, why don't you go to Happy Corner? Do you believe, church Liberians, that they were truly in the car having themselves? I would say it's a lie. As a man of God, ordained by God to preach the gospel of truth, I cannot back down to go and sign the agreement. There are many reasons, and we'll go on and on. My wife, my beautiful wife, uncle, son, Lamo, and 2 others were sent for by St. Moses, and allegedly killed them, and said they drowned. No investigation. Nothing happened. Princess is from our home. They killed her, put the body in our compound. No investigation. Sorry, regime.
The people's pastor.
I see these things. I do my own security analysis. I've been trained by the West and locally 36 years of training. I see these things. It's too blaring. It's too blaring to say somebody took gun and fire himself 3 times. It's too blaring. What will encourage me if I even wanted to sign? Is it money? No. So those who are talking, Prince Johnson is just talking so can get him money to laugh. And let me say before I close. Nama was a leper. He was a captain of the Royal Army in Syria. He heard, leprosy is communicable. He heard about the prophet Elijah in Israel. So he and his brother
as the kingmaker in presidential elections, has given a new reason why he will not support the re-election of President George Weah. Longtime Senator Prince Johnson says in the 6 years since he was elected, Weah has failed to bring investors to Liberia, thereby worsening the country's unemployment rate. Supporters say the president has focused on the country's development through his government's pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development. The new development comes after Johnson says a high-powered delegation from the ruling CDC urged his party not to field a presidential candidate because it would hurt President Weah's re-election chances. Johnson tells me the delegation included several top ministers, including those from the Ministries of Finance, Labor, a former Minister of State, and the chair of the ruling CDC.
We have a candidate, standard bearer, to run directly, and they are saying, no, we should not run, we should support Mr. Weah. If we do, it's in the front to Mr. Weah and all kinds of talks. And we say we are a party registered under the law of this country, and our support from 2017, October, it ended October 2022. So there is no more document binding. And during this 6-year period this year, we have observed that what we expected in the past is not what we see on the ground. We believe, as one of the Liberian people believe, that being the world best, European best, African best, all the best, that his election would have attracted investors to Liberia to create jobs and alleviate the suffering of our people through the investment and employment. But since his election, the world has abandoned us in the sense that no investors are coming. And what we're doing in the country is just ratifying loan agreements all the time, and you cannot build a country based on loan and internal revenue within private sector. So things are very difficult in the country. The unemployment rate is escalating. So there's nothing encouraging to give Mr. Weah second term. That's why we decided to quit.
Senator, help me. You said a delegation from the ruling CDC came to see you. Who are the members on that delegation?
Well, the Minister of Finance, the former Minister of State Presidential Affairs, the chairperson of the CDC, Mr. Eva Malu, Professor Wilson Tata, EPA Director General, the Minister of Labor, Mr. Charles Gibson, and many others.
Senator, how do you say there's no development? As recent as, I think, earlier this month, the president dedicated a hospital. I see pictures of roads being paved.
Jimmy, that's a different thing. I'm not saying there is no development. There are some level of development. I am saying the high rate of unemployment is a major concern. When investors are not on the ground to provide jobs, that we are living with sufferings. We're talking about jobs for our people. The jobs, we put food on the table. The jobs, we have our people, those university graduates every year. When they graduate, no job, their degrees are hanging on the walls, and they continue to increase the number of unemployment.
Let me ask you, Senator, in the past you have supported President Weah. And this is the reason why I think people accused you of selling your NIBA vote for money. Some people are saying you are making all this noise because now you want the government to give you more money.
That's what I hear people say, but they are on the wrong side of history. That is not my nature. I don't know of any market where they sell votes. They say these things, but it's not true. If I form an alliance with you, I collaborate with you, and I find incompatibility, coupled with that, the agreement expires, I can no longer renew that agreement.
But why not support one of the parties? I mean, how certain are you that your candidates might win?
We are open to all parties. We are working with ANC. We are working with the Unity Party. We are working with the newly certificated party, EFCC. All of the parties on the ground, we are working with them. So one party cannot win with all the other in the country. So you need all hands on deck.
Senator Johnson, it is always a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much. Happy New Year again to you.
Happy New Year. God bless you, Jimmy.
That was Senator Prince Johnson of Liberia speaking with us from the capital, Monrovia.
There be food. They country we need change. First, during early administration, they were 100% better. When I'm playing on the street, maybe when you see Donald people that only intern, which was Don Bosco boys and this administration, majority of the youth, they are worldwide, so plenty on the street. Some days when somebody go up and wait, if you go to see another group coming, where you go to see another group.
So what caused the people?
Thank you. Because administration, what they told us that they were going to do for us, the first thing they told us they were going to be a rehabilitation center. They told us they were going to bring change to our life. And they went up there, they advocated for almost $10 million to come and settle us with the disadvantaged youth. They're getting the money, sitting on the share.
So when they share money, where you say you can help you?
No, that's what we need. We don't need money. We don't need money.
Money can help us. Money can help us. Money can help us.
Want to send people to vocational school, that will bring you back and get your job.
Yeah.
Because if you can take care of yourself, then you can have family, take care of your family. Then you can bring
yes. As for me now, president, as I told you, I'm a high school graduate. But I need to learn trade. I need to learn trade where.
If I look at that,
I said, you know,
so what are you doing? Why your parents are? Why you married? You know your man number?
786.
086?
Yeah, 844.
844
937.
37. Where your mommy?
Corino.
quiet.
It's not fair, it's not rare. And me,
I will call you, man.
I tell you
Anyway,
what,
yeah,
my
every day.
brother,
I will call you, man.
I promise them, my brother, they election when they win. And maybe that American president will put in $8 million.
I forgot money. We want to know for where you are going to be.
No, man, when they put money, try to empower us for better future.
No, right now, your better future, that to rehabilitation, and training and put also I want to work on the whole country need to work on.
All right, folks. Tonight we are here again. We were not here yesterday, but our buddy was here, Mr. Kamara. I think he had a conversation here that I believe was good. But tonight we are discussing the occupants of the executive mansion in Liberia, George Begube, Pastor WEAH. One way or the other, it is difficult for him to escape his personal life, going to the public, but we focus more on the presidential and public service space, governance. That's what we're going to focus on. But again, too, our people say charity begins at home. Especially country that is Christian dominant and followed by folks that also believe in God. I'm talking about Muslim or Islamic faith. And the way he portrays himself to be somebody who got kind heart and he feels sorry for other people. I don't think that is a just way that we know right now. I don't think so. Even if we were to trace his past relationship with other friends, and even some family member, including Salisa Diba, I understand that his cousin. But you know what he did to him, right? He took a job from him, technical director. But I think we have come a long way. The progressive agitator, according to our political history, the late 1970s, for the most part, they agitated that the American Liberians were not leading the country very well. They were excluded from the political mainstream. And prior to 1980, Dr. Richard Tauber became president as a result of President Tubman's death, natural death, according to our history. So the late President Tauber took over the governance system of our country. And I think we have 1 or 2 years to go to election for the first time with Tauber. However, Tauber took over in a kind of split or divided country. The country was already hugely, if I will use that word from Donald Trump, divided on 2 fronts. The front of quote-unquote indigenous people. That was a group of Baka Matthew and the rest of the folks, including Dr. Marco Dan, Dr. Tukbana Tipote, and you name them. And so they were going from campus to campus, including Tottenham High, University of Liberia, and you name it. So Tauber took over. And that division was there already. From the basis of our history, inside Tauber own camp, quote unquote, the American Liberian camp, commonly called the Congo people, for example, there was also a fight over there. The folks thought that Tauber was going outside of the normal terrain, where he tried to calm down the issue of agitation on the part of the indigenous children, for the most part. They were not children, but that was the politics of the time. So prior to Tauber taking over, they already had the Power Group, Progressive Alliance of Liberia, POL. And they also had Moja, headed by Dr. Tokpana Tipote, Movement for Justice in Africa. And later on, UPP came in, I think LPP or UPP, one of them. But that was basically the political movement headed by Bacchus Matthews. And everything was geared. Moja was more or less regional. The power was the Boyman family group and the rest of the guys that were preaching this divisive politics. Maybe they want to change. But we're just telling small history, okay? So the country was divided on two fronts. The country people and the queen people, the Congo. I think it was much better. Today, the country is divided on multiple fronts. Multiple front. I agreed, but my agreement today, for example, kind of has some limitation now. Prior to today, I thought that it was a good thing that what our big brothers, our uncles and other people did using the student environment. But I think that the untimely death of Turbo, that cursed our country deeply, deeply, deeply. They succeeded changing the government, but did they achieve their agenda? No, they did not achieve it. Because the government got changed under a brutal arrangement where unqualified, incompetent group of soldiers had AK-47, bazooka, and the rest of it, according to our political history, they didn't even do the job. So I almost left something out because there is a book on Amazon written by the late Turbo wife, Victoria Turbo, the white hands behind the death of my husband, something like that. So Turbo had his own Congo group fighting him for bringing on board some of the educated indigenous, and some were sent by government through government scholarship to go out there and learn. And when they got back, it was during Turbo time majority of the indigenous people educated got their education for the most part, and Turbo tried to bring them into the mainstream of our political system. Because Turbo has spent sufficient time as a vice president to Todma up to 19 years. In addition to that, he was also BAFTA International Outreach President. So he had traveled all over the world. Moreover, he was also a farmer, spending most of his time on his farm in Bental. So he knew the problem more than even the problems knew him. He knew exactly what was going on. That division was deeper. But again, the Liberian Constitution, it is spelled out, and on the basis of, this African politics, Turbo decided to stay in his lane. So majority of Liberians did not know about Turbo prior to him becoming president, before we got to know about him. So it's a good thing to read. There is a book written by somebody in Guinea called The Turbo of Liberia. I got a copy there. But they're trying to compare Turbo with other leaders in Africa in that book. But we're not talking about that book today before I do promotion for the author. Trying to explain small political story. So now, another thing that added to Turbo problem was the issue of the West, foreign policy. I can remember, based on my research, Turbo came to the United Nations and blasted at the United States on the issue of the dispute between Palestine, the Palestinian people, and the people of Israel. That while America got to consistently continue to back Israel, when they have those deadly weapons, every single fighting helicopter and fighting jet leaving from America go to help Israel. Against people who don't have arms, they have to prepare their own petrol bombs, meaning the Palestinian people. And Turbo spoke at the United Nations. That speech did not go well with the United States government, considering the diplomatic tie that existed almost 200 years between Liberia and the United States. And on the source of the United States, a president can say that the late President Gaddafi, the late, how do you call this old man from Zimbabwe? Mugabe, and the former president of Iran, I forgot his name. These were people that I watched recent time, for example. They said horrible stuff at the United Nations. But there's a difference though. There's a difference. The relationship that have existed between Liberia and America have not existed between United States and Iran. Between United States and Zimbabwe. Alright? Between United States and Libya. So those people who come here and say whatever they want to say and walk away. We have VOA in Liberia, spying on everybody in Africa. Our JFK referral hospital prior to today, it was considered in the region as referral hospital. American government money right there. Okay, according to media reports, the executive mansion, British people and American people tax dollar right there. Our current election commission building, American people money. Majority of the schools built in Liberia, American people tax dollar. We were literally depending on them when it comes to defense. Liberia did not even have an army. We had something they call Liberia Frontier Force. But we saw it. Okay, so a whole lot. So, John Pamela waits on John Rice. This is normal traditional, diplomatic tradition. Like we saw recent time, as crazy as George Weah is, he goes to deliver the state or the annual speech, even down to the American embassy close. That's a normal diplomatic protocol. Because the host country president is delivering their annual message. So the entire diplomatic corps got to go there. That's how it is all over the world. I know some people take exception, but if a particular country have problem with you, they will not even be in your country to have an office there. So those who are there, reasonably, they're okay with it. So Togo government had a state dinner. American ambassador at the time, I forgot his name, and other foreign ambassadors were invited. After that state dinner, the American ambassador got sick. They flew him back to America. Prior to arrival, the ambassador died. The autopsy results showed that he was poisoned. That deep in the conflict between United States and Liberia on the Togo. In addition to that, Togo said, okay, this national cake here is for everybody. However, we're going to set a golden rule for this national cake. And that golden rule is the law. If you violate the law will deal with you. And that was clear. I still remember I read a story, and beside that I was told by the late professor of history at the University of Liberia, Dr. Seguano, he passed away too, that there were some people in jail. Conviction was almost 99.9%. Besides that, Togo has signed a decree from the court to kill his own, not to kill his own cousin, but for the law to kill his own cousin, James Togo, who and his wife had some quote-unquote misunderstanding in America. They call it domestic violence, and the woman died. Togo said the law would take care of that. Went to court, and he was convicted. And the court came out with degree capital punishment. We don't have that any longer. capital punishment, he got killed. The law killed him. So everybody that was in jail for doing wrong, they knew that if you get convicted, you go into jail and you're not coming back. So Uncle Sam took perfect opportunity of that tension between Turbo, the late, and the indigenous children, people who are angry and want change. And also talk about brothers and sisters in the government that was telling him you don't need to do that because these people, they can't change. Let's keep them the way we need to keep them. When you get them educated, they're going to go against you. Whether that was a good advice or not, I'm just telling history. That's what I'm doing here, okay? I'm not the one to question it. We got to read history. So that was that time. So Turbo got killed. Who killed him up to now, we don't know. They had something at the front of the executive mansion on the road there. Those of you that are born and raised in Liberia, especially Monrovia area, they did a monument there in front of the executive mansion on the road at the center, you know, that going around spot. They call unknown soldier. So just the word unknown already tell us they didn't know those soldiers. Whether that was single soldier or two soldiers, we don't know, but they call it unknown soldier. When Taylor became president, Taylor said, the unknown soldier movement is going. We got to bust it and see the soldier. Some people just crazy. So they bust it. Whether they got the soldier, they didn't get the soldier, we don't know. But they bust it and clean up plate and plain flour. Now, the hatred started right there. Samuel Doe and additional 16 men in the AFL took on the Congo people, grabbed them, sent them to junta court with no legal representation. They say you can't get no lawyer to talk for you. That's what they did. Okay? Before they did that, they suspended the Constitution. The first Constitution, 1822, is it 1822 or 1847, whatever that is. They suspended that because they wanted to do what they wanted to do. They suspended the Constitution. Everybody they wanted to slaughter or to murder, they murdered them. You will go to that court, they have one military man just run a decision, bam, 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 bam. They came to post target and kill you. That's what they did. Those of you that don't want to listen to this story, you don't have to. But there's a reason for it. They kill those people. Those who escape, some of them, they follow them, they grab them and slaughter them. Okay? In the course of the people, the struggle continued. They didn't even go 90 days. 90 days. Conflict erupted in the camp. Conflict erupted in the camp. The 17 enlisted men that killed those people because they didn't kill Turbo. For sure, I can say it anywhere. They had no capability to kill Turbo. Okay? So, they took advantage of the power they had. They killed so many people. They chased the rest of the people out of the country. And now trouble erupted in their own camp. Those started accusing other people, Father Zamiton, Thomas Kyongpa, and you just name it, were saying, all these people. I was a small boy. I was a child. But it is good to read and listen to people who got wisdom. I was not there. Okay? I was 12 years old. No, 2 years old, 1980. 1990, I was 12 years old. So do the math. Okay? I'm telling you a real story. So the problem started. Tribalism started to erupt. Crime, Guillermo, where there where it started. And we went to war. Then Manungo men been inside. Sapo, crew, just name it. today, we are now fighting. It is no longer 2 groups or 3. It's just between you and myself. Maybe. Because the last time I checked, the last time I researched the population density and the compositions of our population, considering the 2 families, the American-Liberian we call Congo, and the indigenous people, the country people, as we may call, it was 98.5% indigenous people. Do the math. You got less than 3% of people who call Congo today. But how many of them do we find holding key positions in the current government? Some people consider Ellen to be Congo. I agree. She's not there no more. But let me name it for you. The President George Weah, that country woman's son. We don't know her pa. That's a reality. The President George Weah, we don't know her pa. Her man said we don't know her too. Because according to his story, the man born a baby, she was on the street and left the baby with grandma. Okay? That president, that country woman, son there. The vice president, Joan Howard Taylor, that country woman daughter right there too. I never heard about her talking about her pa, neither her man. I don't know them. So we'll keep it just like that. The Speaker of the House, Buffer Chima, that country woman's son. Okay? The Deputy Speaker, the same thing. The Pro Tem, the same thing. The Chief Justice, the same thing. Okay? Then we go to Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance, country woman's son. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, the #1 minister in our country. The Doyens of the Diplomatic Corps. And my uncle from Foya. Alright? J. Master Kamayan, okay? From Foya. Comments, the same thing. EPA, wasting tablet, the same thing. So why you want to tell me? And the country people got it in? The country people, we got it in. We got it. So why we say fighting? Why are we still greeted? We got the whole country. No Congo being inside. America not even telling us what to do. If we want to deal with America, we don't have to deal with America. But America is superpower now, don't forget. They have a global responsibility on the basis of their own rules and laws. They have their own, even the people that are loggerheads, to a certain extent, they still help them. Because when refugees come from there, they take them. They're not going to say because your country leadership or your government and we're not on time. In fact, that's the time they can help the people from there. Okay? So even in the midst of where we found ourselves, America still helping Liberia. Because they are superpower. So tonight, we are coming to you. You, our people that follow us. You that are listening to us right now. To share with us whether George Weah is really peaceful. Considering everything we know. Who George Weah is fighting. This boy you see in the background, Gentle Brian right here. Dahibali right there are being Kesedi Barra Inc. and suffering, okay? He got killed just around the transition of the new year and the old year going. This is his picture right here, high school student. He got killed. Behind the barrack, that's the report we gather. Okay? No investigation. The wounded police people say he went to take, but he got drunk. And that's it. What kind of country president we got? You heard from Eugene Fagon, former minister, former deputy minister. You heard from Prince Johnson, who was trained by the very people here in America, other part of the world, and in Liberia. He's a trained, whether he left Prince Johnson or not, he's a trained, sophisticated military personnel. SSS all over the world, including here United States, Secret Service is considered elite, small presidential army. All they do, they protect the president, the physical space of the president. That's their job. Even right here in America, that's what they do. President go on a tour in Nimba County, and they person at it, they're not sick, nothing wrong with their brain, and they get shot 3 times in their brain and multiple shots on their body. And the president, people say, the president number 1 girlfriend, Finda Bondo. In the first place, Finda Bondo is chief of protocol for the executive mansion. What she got to do with security? That's the first question. What Finda Bondo got to do with security? We got a video here, short video, I think about 1 minute, few seconds, that we got. But the source, we need to contact the source before we pull him out. I got it right now. Okay? This guy was literally begging so that they can't kill him. They're shouting multiple times. What kind of wickedness is that? In the midst of all the other death. But they want, just where it's right there, they slaughter this man. Whatever reason they gave, it don't hold water. Like, listen to the family. That country woman son there, oh. That country woman son. You're listening to Sheikh. We're finding a way to see whether Sheikh can appear on our small platform. That inside their own security network, George Weah wanted to zero that man. Somebody who financed his campaign. They lost everything they had for themselves. The partnership and the trust they had with their partners, they lost everything. God smiled with them, they give it. They found their way in America. They're trying to, George Weah followed this guy, still trying to use his own family, his wife, to get even with the man. All the way the man here in America. Using child. Hey God. This is a man, y'all listen to those boys and we call them Zogo, right? That's the #1 group that voted for George Weah. Look at how that Peking spoke. So Omar, they were talking to Nyombli. I know Nyombli trying to bypass the political aspect of it. And that was okay anyway, on her part. The labor said, but Omar, listen, the thing we thought, the thing they told us they would do for us. They go out there. They get money, over $10 million to help us. They bring it, they sit down and share among themselves. We don't want no street money, we don't want beer, but we got no help. We need empowerment. And that begins if you finish high school, care about it. Okay? We want rehabilitation, we want to learn trade. But let's put that on one side. This Sheikh story, for example. Looking at all the population we did, the total investment portfolio that these people wanted to do in Liberia, about 17-18 billion, if I'm not mistaken, to connect Liberia to the rest of West Africa and make Liberia a hub. Then you have a diamond offer there, that clean diamond, to give it additional value instead of taking it to Europe. And just because you're trying to put the person that connected you with these people under the box and the people refuse, you reject. You reject empowerment, employment, opportunity for your own people that you say you represent, and you call yourself pastor, and you call yourself father, when you even take care of your own children. Because your man not take care of you probably, or your pa, we don't know him. How can you be president, my people? Auditors. These are junior level government officials. Auditors get killed. You say they're having man, woman business in the car. That I mean say, that we are saying, evident by the emission of the former deputy minister. You're listening to them. Prince Johnson said, those 3 missing, but they didn't get missing. They murdered them. They murdered the auditor because of audit report. The EPS guy, they murdered him in Nimba County. Somebody called on the show the last time they heard that shooting sound. They thought that the president got attacked. No, nobody attacking Joe here. Nobody doing that. They murdered that man. Can you imagine this guy just got married? He and my best friend in Liberia living around the same terrain in Pinsway. What kind of wickedness is this? So my people, I can sit here and talk. But you know tonight, we want to give it to you. If you have time to call, you can call now. The numbers are already printed. Your call and share with us whether Joe WEAH is really peaceful the way he prefers to be. That he didn't even know how to kill flies. The allegation of supporting the war is growing, and it is getting to a level where probably investigation will be conducted here in America about George WEAH involvement in the war, especially sponsoring model. That allegation is growing right now. Those of us that are in the media business will get a lot of privileged information for the most part, and we are getting it, but we want to catch it before we say we get it. Okay? For George WEAH to even be acting like Prince Johnson is a killer, but the very Prince Johnson is the one that got making to be president. The same Prince Johnson took him to Nimba County, buried him. You saw the buried. And Prince Johnson also got him the Nimba County way. Prince Johnson didn't stop there. The guy in the plane that went to Nigeria to his spiritual father, the late T.B. Joshua. All of you know that man. He passed away too. And you listen to Prince Johnson, he said it. But this is a same man. Take everybody money, government money, and buy pickups and put it on the donated by George WEAH. We should the president in your lifetime, you now see do that and give it to the chiefs. Everything for WEAH. That ain't personal money. Taxpayer data. He uses it. It's a WEAH project. The Constitution and other statute has been undermined under George WEAH. Nimba County people share. Nimba County, Bon County, Grand Bassa, Meta State Development, Social Development Fund, they give it to the government. Joe WEAH sees it. But Joe WEAH look at his own vice president. Sees of money, but that other fool, I don't even want to talk about her. She's the one having honeymoon right now with Joe WEAH. Because all of them finishing up, most of them rotting. You know? Because the way the people do things in Liberia, look, public official, I can't stand them, my people. I can't stand them. So the people can't even say the truth. Just the truth, they can't say it. Then you go to Bomi County, with the Western Crosser story, Bapolu, and Grand Cayman County, another money, about $5 million. Joe WEAH sees that one too. Now he want to use it for the campaign. So it can appear like he's doing favor for the Liberian people, which is not a favor. It is the law. The resources underground and the people taking it, you got to share with other people. For the people that in that environment. Then you seize it for straight 5 years. Then you say you peaceful. What brought the war? Is it now corruption, public stealing? What brought about the war? Corruption at all levels. Political social, economic, everything you think about. And what brought the war? Should we go by the war? I say no. Because it's terrible. It is terrifying. But should we encourage that kind of behavior on the part of George Weah? I will also say no. We need to kick against it. Those 6 counties involved in the seizure of money, and now they're making it appear like he coming to do favor for them, going to Nimba County, giving some people money to speak against Prince Johnson because he spoke on behalf of his people. Whether you like it, you don't like it, that's your business. And making it appear like that he football money. I think those 6 counties are wasting time. They need to join forces and you know why? Protest against George Weah, and they should put him on real ultimatum not to go to their counties. Because you don't do that. You don't do that. Oh God, it's so sad. It's so sad. These people are so annoying. All right, folks, so let me get you a chance to call. The numbers are 267-938-2801, 267-938-2801. The WhatsApp number is +1 267 648 8012. The WhatsApp number again is +1 267 648 8012. That is that, all right? So probably I'm going to go for Takunji while I move back quickly. Yeah, your call. I think it's a good thing to discuss it, but it is sad. It's a sad story.
Go.
My people, y'all wait for me some more. I'm coming. right, my people, I'm back, okay? I'm back. If you need to call to contribute, you can call now. Let me go to that caller. Let me call this caller back.
Hello?
Hello, caller.
Yeah, Moses calling from Minnesota.
Moses, how you doing today?
Not by yourself.
Great.
Yeah, how are you on the show? I want to ask, why are we blaming George Weah?
What are we blaming George Weah? You want me to give you an answer?
We know the man not qualified for the position. We vote him, we put him there. George Weah won the election fair. Why are we blaming the man now?
We're blaming him because he's a leader right now.
But the man was not qualified for the position.
He was not qualified. The majority gave it to him. That's a form of democracy that we got.
I agree with you. Then we blame the majority. That we blame
No, we're not blaming majority. Majority made a decision based on the poor performance of the previous. Okay? So, we give it...
But the majority knew this man was not qualified for the position.
Majority did not know.
No, they do.
No, I disagree with you. Majority did not know.
Excuse me. The majority said, educated or not educated will vote for him. Remember that?
Okay, I agree with that.
The city they said about Chancellor came out, mine came out, will vote for him.
Okay, I agree with that too.
Thank you. So, I mean, whatever happened, we just cannot accept it, even though I'm not in favor of him, but we just have to accept the reality. It is what it is.
So, but if we accepting the reality, and then we're not supposed to blame nobody. We're just supposed to sit down and that's it?
No, we're not blame ourselves. Because we blame ourselves. Because we put the people in the position.
But anyway, what we're doing now, we're blaming ourselves, but also blaming him because he lacked gratitude.
My brother, we put Eddie Johnson into position. She was qualified for that position. So whatever wrong she did is on her. We blame her. But John we don't have leadership. You saw how he ran on stuff.
Okay.
Run the whole country.
All right, but we did it though.
We're not talking about 5 division team why you couldn't keep. She's
okay.
Professional. Can a man run a country? No, you see, there are certain people, there are certain things you don't do in life, my brother. You don't get certain people opportunity in life because you're no youth. You get chance opportunity because he been outside before he saw the international war. George Weah saw the international war. Yeah, I agree with you, but he don't have that experience. The only experience George Weah got is football.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, so you keep me at football. It's just like you become president and tell me, say, oh, I got experience. My whole career is football. I got no knowledge about other things. And you come and make me a final minister. What do you think I would do?
You will do what Joe are doing.
Okay, anybody bring paper or sign it because I don't know whether it's against me or not. I don't know.
Okay.
But if I go to school and get a BSc in something, and you say, oh, Moses, come and become a final minister and make a mistake, it's on me. You blame me for that. So the easiest thing to do, when come to October, we vote the man out if we want him. If you don't want him.
But
which I think is going to be very tough.
But why would you say it's going to be tough? Why do you think that way?
I think the reality is stupid people stay in Liberia.
You think they're going to continue being stupid because they already try everybody now, the way I see it. That's how I feel.
My brother, you saw the team for them going down the riot, the man pulled up, the crowd, the man pulled up.
Lead that crowd. You know what I will tell you, Moses?
1997, excuse me. 1997, when I was in high school, going to school, I can remember the chancellor men and kid with that money. And everything they gave up back around to vote for them. But guess what? I never vote for MPP. I ate the money, I ate the rest. I did that MPP t-shirt and I never wore it. I couldn't turn down the money because I needed it.
You needed it. And more what about your money?
But the vote, the vote was important to me. I get a vote of who my heart desired, who I wanted to become president. Even though yes, I lose, but
I lead you. Well, you had a good conscience.
Thank you. So if the people then they say, if you say they pay the people to go there, they should have eaten the money and don't show up. Then it will reap back to the rest of the country. Oh yeah, George will not know. George will tell the people say, oh man, the TO money can't fool the people no more. Rest can't fool the people no more. But we vote the man into power. What you expect? The man is not qualified for the position. They can give you the example. And the justice said that and she made a mistake. It's all her because she qualified. Chancellor will qualify. I will learn from George Weah.
But let me ask you, let me squeeze in this small question. I think probably tomorrow I'm going to bring it as a topic. Why you think Liberians, I put in myself there too, even though I'm not there, but just on the basis of, generalization. Why we continue to vote for ugly people? Including people who are not qualified for the job. Why?
I don't know whether you recall yesterday when you myself talk. I told you half our population let bad people. They don't let good people.
Okay.
I said that to you yesterday.
I think it was Monday actually.
Yeah, Monday or Monday.
I think it was Monday. Somebody called in the wrong number. I can't answer the call. The numbers are displayed out there. Yeah, sorry, bro Moses.
Yeah, I told you. We encourage bad people into the society and the good people.
The question I'm asking, you're not answering it. What is our motivation for doing that? I know we're already doing it, but why encouraging us to do it?
I just know you will love bad people.
Oh, we love them.
Thank you. Now what I said, I should give you an example, I'll give you another example.
I know, right?
Charles Taylor, we voted him in. Eddie Johnson was part of the, like you said the other time when Queen Johnson, the whole war code they're talking about, they're hating on Queen Johnson, they're not hating on the other people. Eddie Johnson was part of the movement.
Yeah.
We voted her in.
Yeah, she even admitted at TRC hearing.
Queen Johnson is a senior senator of Lima County.
Mm-hmm.
We voted in. Even though a bad record he got, okay. Where? You get qualified. District number 10, my best friend was there.
Okay. But what about George Bole, who did everything he could do? He came to America, save even the people say we don't need you.
That's a me I wanted to call.
The American government said you're too rotten, we can't keep you here.
LPC. We voted in as representative of some district in Grand Chile. So I believe we love bad people. Until we can sit down and examine ourselves. My brother, we got a long way to go.
My brother, thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. All right, folks. So that's what Brother Moses said. We Liberians, we love bad people. And that's why we keep doing what we are doing. And in conclusion, he said, until we can sit down and change our mindset and start to take our vote seriously, we are not going to get out of it, okay? I think somebody tried to call the WhatsApp number. Let me check on that. Excuse me. WhatsApp people, you're here? Okay, that's it. Okay, let me put it on. Change our mindset. And start to... Yes, Ango.
Good morning, Francis. How are you?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Yeah.
What do you make of the topic tonight?
Excuse me. Yeah, it's good. It's interesting. It's a nice one. And I listened to your caller just now asking why we are blaming George Weah. Why you don't expect the Liberian people to blame George Weah when he's the one steering the affairs of the state? He's the head.
Yep.
In any organization, the head is responsible for the outcome, for productivity, for achievement, for successes. Why you think when people present their CVs, they put in all of their achievables, what they have managed to achieve over the years and over the time? Why? because it is vital, it is important. That is why George Weah should be blamed. He talk about qualification. We all agree, but in democracy, it is not about qualification. Qualification is an item, but also you should look at the majority, because we say of the people, by the people, and for the people.
All right, son. Somebody on the other call. Let me just okay then, so we can make it interactive. Okay.
Okay, that's great.
Oh man, Julu. My man refused to call you, my man. I forgot to call you after the show tonight. Not too bad, my man. So we got we got Samuel on the WhatsApp line, and you are on the direct line. So we're going to do it 3 ways, okay? So just listen.
Let it WhatsApp line talk.
No, just listen to me. Let me finish first. Samuel going to talk, and then I'm going to put it to you, and you listen to him too, okay? But you three are going to be on at the same time. All right, Samuel, go ahead.
So, as I was saying, democracy is about inclusion, right? And the caller said we shouldn't blame George Weah. And I was saying George Weah is 100% to be blamed, because he is the head of government. George Weah appoints all of the executive officials in government, down to the judiciary branch. He appoints all of them, with the exception of the legislative branch of government, that the positions that are electoral position. Now, why won't you blame him when he's the one steering the affairs of the state? And then he further went on to talk about qualification, right?
Yeah, we knew that he was not qualified. Yeah, but we'll give it to him.
Yeah, he said we knew that George Weah was not qualified, and we gave him the job. Now, in democracy, it is not about qualification.
It is about majority.
It is about numbers. It is about majority. It is about inclusion, because we say it's for the people, by the people, and of the people. That's the form of government in democracy. Now, the bad thing about the Liberian society is that we have too many illiterate people in society. To the extent that during the electionary process, you heard people chanting slogans such as, "You know, but you not know, but we will vote for you." All of the bold people have failed like Liberia. Excuse me? And you talk about qualification. When you are applying for a job, your CV is scrutinized. What do they go for? They go for your experience. They go for your academic credential, what you've achieved academically and what you've achieved by experience. So how come this presidential job, this man was applying for, people were saying, "You know, but you don't know, but we will vote for you"? How do we reconcile those statements with current day reality? People tell their children education is the key to success, and the very same people come out and say, "If you know, but you don't know, but we will vote for you." Where are we? Where do we stand as Liberians?
Okay, so that's a good question, Sango. Sang, that's a good question, all right, part of your statement. So let me get to Julu, so Julu can tell us how he feel about the topic, and then if you want to add anything to answer your question, where are we, and what do we stand to benefit in the midst of all the yogo with Joe? We are selling everything for himself. All right, Julu, go on.
Yeah, Mr. President, I just wanted to clarify a few things. Because people say we didn't have experience before the people voted WEAH. But remember, WEAH was selling the message of the World Economic Chronicle to people that wanted justice. If you kill people, what do people want?
They want justice.
They want justice, exactly. So if I go to Liberia and I start pushing the World Economic Chronicle and doing things for the people believe in you. Trust and believe me, I'm not going to lie to you, say I went to college. But my head, when George Weah first started to run, I started believing this man, because while he was pushing the World Economic Chronicle, he was talking about the situation in the country. We educated people were going for WEAH. So are the people stupid?
They took Kiaski and all. To symbolize it.
The educated people who got degree, people who got master, or because they were believing what George Weah was saying. It's the message. Sometimes you're not educated, but the message you put out there, people can look at it and say, "Yeah, they make sense." Look at Joseph Walker. What Joseph Walker was giving his own message, but nobody cared about Joseph Walker's message. And Joseph Walker was educated, but nobody cared about that. They were only going after George Weah election. So that it was so, and then like Lord took for the travel too. So he traveled for to pushing it, and everybody was pushing it, everybody was buying it. I bought it, other people bought it. Because I maybe are stupid people? No. People believe that when the man get there, you're going to do better than everybody else.
So now that he's not doing better, then what next? Now that he's not doing better, okay, including the war crime code, anti-corruption, because these were the two things that the CDC talk about, brutal, prior to today. Now that they're not doing better, and he using our resources in his own name, all right? He used government money, he bought pickups, and put it on the donated by George Weah project, and all that stuff. So what do we do?
I don't have the power to...
No. Whether you have the power or not, we just asking you, what do we do? Where are we headed? That's the question sent us.
The best thing for us to do is to vote this crime out.
Okay, good job.
That's what we can do. We already know, thank God. Some, you remember one time one of your talk show hosts said, thank God we know who we are in. It was good that he was elected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody said that on your show before. And it's true. It was good that we were elected before Omer Baga would get there. If Omer Baga would have gotten there, that kind of thing we're talking about, why they didn't the public to put him out. And but we are there because we have continued to preach that message to us. You understand? So it was good that we got there, and everybody knows there is a devil in sheep clothing. So the best thing to do is to vote him. I want them to vote him out. They left for me when they vote him out, then they arrest him, detain him, and send him to the war economic crime court so he can pay for his sin.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, the caller was talking about we are spreading the message of the welcome code. Now, this is where I come in, and this is my stand on that issue. WEAH does not have the ability or the capacity to engineer such a move. It was his followers. And believe me, don't get me wrong, I can tell you, yes, you have few people that claim to be educated and supported the George Weah regime, but majority of WEAH supporters are not educated. When we talk about education, it is not only limited to the classroom. We talk about experience-wise. You could come from the university today with a degree, but if you lack the requisite experience for a job and you are given that position, for instance, you will not perform. You will not perform because you don't have the slightest idea as to how to start. You are going to be a novice. You're a newbie on the job. You need tutoring. You need mentoring. So in terms of education and qualification with what the caller was saying, I don't agree with that, but that's his perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to him. Now, we talk about, I heard you talking about the level of development with regards to the rejection of a deal because the guy who was trying to engineer the move, he was being sidelined, and the investor said, no, we cannot go this route because this is the man that brought us. This is the man that initiated the project. So we need him in the project. And the government said no. Or those that are around the president, they said no, they don't want him there. And because of that, that deal was canceled. Now, I can tell you for free, there are a lot of other moves that have been made by that government, that have been thwarted by that government developmental agenda initiative from external partners, only because some individuals don't stand to benefit from those deals, or because they were not giving cash back or kickback, and so as a result of that, Liberia missed out on a lot of projects. This platform cannot permit me to name some, but I tell you for free, in terms of developmental agenda and initiative, that government is performing below par. They are performing below the standard. They are not focused in that direction. You can see it. National budget of 800 million and you got roughly 20% for development. What are you going to do with 20%? It's a minute portion of the budget. That is the reason why they have not been able to live up to the promises of the new city, the Twin City Bali Island, the projected coastal highway. They have not completed the Ganta to Zweju or road project. They can't talk to look at a road project. They are scrambling on it. That is the reason.
But you're going too far, Sango. You're going too far. EAWA to RRA. EAWA to red light, to the red light, Coca-Cola factory area. It's still ongoing. But I mean, the point. But
3 years now.
But hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute. Another thing. I understand they've been sending a lot of people were with World Bank, with IMF, right? Getting money for project. What they're doing with that money too? They forget about our own resources in Liberia. You know, the revenue.
Francis, are those monies substantive enough, or are they sufficient enough to cover up those projects? Those are the questions we should be asking.
But the thing about it, we're already up to 1.9 billion. So why is not enough?
Yeah. Those have been
in debt.
Those monies have been taken for recurring expenditure, day-to-day activities. They have not been taken for developmental purposes.
So you want to tell me our
to the public, yeah.
So you want to tell me our meager resources, our revenue is not enough to take care of everyday business? They have to go for project money?
That's one aspect I don't understand about national budgeting, right? You, like, for example, if you follow the national budget crafting part, they have portion slated in it for donor funding, external funding, aids, grants, and what have you. Look, for instance, you cannot want to cook in your house and say, okay, I will buy the rest, I will buy the coal, I will buy the oil, then I will wait for my neighbor to come and give me so I can buy the greens and I can buy the chicken soup and the fish. So if your neighbor don't come, for God's sake, you will not cook.
Okay, I got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So let me just ask. Yeah, just conclude quickly. Let me ask Julu too to conclude, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay, that's the reason why we should be fighting to strengthen our domestic revenue policy, our domestic revenue arms. For instance, I patrolled the border somehow 2021. I went to Guinea and I went to Ivory Coast and I went by road. Now, if you go to some of those entry points, I tell you, there are no revenue officers on the line. There are no revenue officers at those points. And you see people just trooping into Liberia, bringing in commodities, bringing in goods illegally. Those are revenues that are escaping government covers. This administration have failed to address that problem from the time they took power. That was one issue the Salif government faced at the time. Now, this government met that and they have refused to address it only because, yes, they have a tree. I don't know how to call it. What he studied at Harvard is at the LRA. He did not do taxation. He did not study finance, and you got him there because you want to give him a job. He's not qualified in terms of experience, in terms of requisite qualification for the job. You need somebody with tax knowledge at the helm of the LRA, and you have somebody that will study peace and conflict resolution. I tell you, he will not perform. He can have it because sometimes even if it's advice, he will not take the advices. It is factual. That is why we talk about competence. We talk about experience. We talk about qualification. Those things are cardinal. That is why this 2023 election, George Weah need to leave for a more competent individual to occupy the first seat. If I stay here today, I will say a lot.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
So let me let you guys go. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you very much. All right. Mr. Kia?
Yeah?
Go right ahead. You want to just be quicker so that we can tell our last caller?
So I can give other callers chance.
Yeah, go ahead.
So now what we say about those who are not educated?
Who? You talking? You want to compare Samuel Doe to George Weah?
Yeah, you can't compare. You see what I'm saying? No, I'm just trying.
Let me tell you something. This is but let me tell you something. Let me tell you the way I'm looking at it. I don't want to kind of like, but I think let me just do it, okay? I don't know about you, but based on my own research, George Weah had the highest international exposure in terms of time. How long? That anybody we have made president in Liberia. George Weah spent little over 22 years outside of Liberia, in and out, but permanently living outside of Liberia. Really good life. Living in beautiful countries.
Yeah.
So, my brother, there are so many people in America, for example, that never been to school, or some of them that went to school a little bit, high school, maybe elementary, whatever that is. But just by living in America, I don't want to point at certain people. Okay? You get much better. You get much better. When you go back on YouTube, whether you like Samuel Doe or not, I don't worry about those things, okay? The first 3 months of Samuel Doe, the 6 months, the 1 year, including when he came to visit the United States for the first time, I think that was 1981, April or 1982, he had that afro and he took a piece of paper from his pocket and he shared the stage with President Reagan. It was a wonderful thing. Unlike George Weah. How can somebody become president, young people promoted, 5 years straight this man cannot address the people? And he doesn't care? When he not go to church?
He don't consider himself to be president.
Yeah, okay, my man, let me allow you go ahead. Somebody is on the line.
Ask you a quick question. I want to leave you with this question. Why will we tackle like Madam Sally support a man who is believing on Pete?
Hate. That's what I would say. Hate. Madam Sally did not want Joe Boakai to become president because she did not feel safe.
And they also go back to the World Economic Record.
Okay.
Because she knew she didn't want to be prosecuted.
Yeah, she didn't want to be prosecuted. So she squandered the opportunity for the country to progress. She squandered that, including putting the country under the bus.
And throw the country under the bus.
Yeah, under the bus for the doorman to be president for her against her own vice president. And in fact, we've been hearing, and you know, it's clear, it is real. Madam Sally have been telling people that are closer to her. Madam Sally.
The reason why I asked you that question, because people saying there were no educated people supporting WEAH. What would you say about the diaspora librarian, the CDC diaspora librarian? You know how many educated people were among the CDC diaspora librarian that was supporting George WEAH?
I wouldn't want to go with that. I wouldn't want to go with that because most of our problem has been on the issue of dishonesty and insincerity. People want jobs. People want jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you anyway. Thank you for the show.
All right, my brother. Thank you. Somebody been trying to call. Somebody been trying to call on the WhatsApp number. Let me call them back then. After that, Phoenix, Arizona, man. Why you can't call the direct line? Yeah, hello, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, caller. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to contribute. Let me turn down the connection that I have.
Yeah, please.
It's not echoing.
Is there any way that you can call the other number quickly so you can just save it? Anything you want to call the show? This one for WhatsApp for WhatsApp people mostly.
Okay.
Let me give it to you now. Maybe you can dial. I don't know whether that is okay. Is that okay for you? I can give it right now.
Okay. Well, let me.
All right. You know what we do? Just go ahead. When you don't, I will text it to you so you can save it. Are you there?
Yes, okay. What's the other numbers?
267
6. Did they say 667?
No, 267.
Okay.
938.
267. 1 moment. I have. 1 moment. I put the wrong thing. Yeah. 267. 267. Yeah, die then.
You ready?
Yes.
267 938
938
2801.
2801.
That's it. So call that number quickly so we can get out of it. You just save it. Every time we come on the show, that's a direct number. Now somebody. Oh, it is you? Yeah, caller. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. You are live.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much for picking my call. This is Ali Keita calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, go right ahead, my brother. You know the topic we're discussing tonight, right?
Yes, I have been listening for a little while.
Okay.
You asked a general question regarding why Liberians are fond of choosing unqualified people, bad people that cannot do the job.
Yeah.
And give some examples why we have Cass Taylor, we have Frank Johnson in positions of power, people that have very bad records. But people say it's the name matter. They say you pay my fire, you pay my man, but
I will vote for you.
Some of us were not in Liberia. We were in the United States here already, but we heard about it.
Yep.
So basically, it means we are really facing a serious matter in Liberia, because in any open society where people are really, their mind is open, they are looking for instances where somebody has slipped or somebody has done something unspeakable, but they know they would now give them a hint whether this person has the stuff, to be given that position of trust. But what I'm saying, or what I have come to conclude is, Liberians don't care. All of us, we Liberians don't care whether somebody is qualified or not, as long they're from our tribe. Because usually when you and somebody start speaking, they will ask you what tribe you are.
Yeah, where you come from?
Which country? Instead of, they could say which part of the country you're from, even though it's one nation under God. But they will say what tribe you are. And then that will set the goal, whether this conversation is going to go south or not. So we have to go away from that. Religion sometimes play parts. We all have biases, let's be frank. But we shouldn't prioritize that. We shouldn't make that our priority. If everyone, we have a lot in common. We also know that we want this country to move forward. We want it to be great. So the way to do that is to put away all those differences and see that, this person or this individual have done this in the past, not just the experience, they have this stuff, they have the education. If you don't have a lot of education doesn't mean just formal education. It's not about book, really. We have other means of education. Let's be frank about that. There's people that did not go far in regular school or traditional schooling, but they've had life experiences. And they have tangible proofs to point to that we all can say, yeah, this person is a person of trust and a person of integrity. Once we take away those things, I don't know what else we can really hang on to. We would just blindly choose somebody and put them in a position of power, and then what would they do? They'll first fill up their pockets, and then
they fill out their family pockets before they go to their girlfriends,
or to support their girlfriends, or whatever they like. So the country is left, the poor people are left with holding the empty bag. We've done it time and time again. Hopefully this time around, people will shine their eyes, like the Liberians say, shine your eye, and meaning think well, think straight. Don't just say, oh, they brought cow meat, they bring this. It's even laughable to say you spent 6 years hungry. Nobody care about you. Thirsty. And then just a few months before election, you see people coming smiling at you.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you forgot everything that you've gone through. You even forgot about the future, because we can't keep looking behind, but we have to look ahead. But if you don't learn from the past, then you are bound to make the same mistakes. And if you cannot do the same thing and expect different results.
You sounded like Arizona Cummings now.
So whatever, if you don't like what you've been getting in the past,
then you got to change it.
You should look somewhere else, or you should change your thought process and then do something else. That way you get something else. We cannot plant rice and think we're gonna harvest corn.
No,
or
doesn't
you
work
put
like that.
potato and then you think you're gonna get edible. Whatever you sow, that's what you're gonna reap. They say, right? Whatever you sow, that's what you reap. It's exactly the same thing on the politics in Liberia. We should look in our communities. It doesn't have to be always people coming from far and wide. Look in the community, look at people. There are people, we are all different. But there are people you can tell this individual have the community at heart. Or he has somebody behind him that is talking for him. You might not know that person, but this person you know have waited for him and spoke well of him. Then you can take chances with those people. But just because somebody gave you a t-shirt and then you sing all day behind them and then get a few cup of rice or even bag of rice, that shouldn't cut it. Your children's schools, the future of the schools, the roads. I remember during the last election, before the election day, I saw people like opening or laying the first groundbreaking that they were going to make Mandikoma, actually Mandikoma Highway going to Lofa. I saw something like that. I saw the former president with George Bush, not George Bush, George WEAH.
But that's the role she played.
I don't know what happened to that project.
Oh, the project was a political. It was a political strategy to give the presidency to George WEAH.
Yeah, well,
somebody served alongside with you for 11 years.
He didn't stay with Lofa anyway.
Yeah.
We saw that, but Lofa alone could not make a dent.
Yeah.
So this time around, let people open their eyes, let people think and do not be selfish. Let us think about the nation as one country under God. If we don't stand together, you cannot do it. And another 6 years is way too much. Okay? 6 years could cost you a lot. It could cost your children. It could cost your generation. It could cost your grandchildren. It could even bring calamity. Because why? If people go through one person eating the resources of millions of people, people will get angry. And we've been there. You know why in the United States here they do background checks, right? When you apply for a very important job, they want to make sure you're not a criminal. They want to make sure you will do what you say you will do, and you will take things seriously. So if you know the history of people that should be disqualified and you don't use those disqualifications and you still put them back to things, positions of trust, then it's on you. It's not just them stealing your money or mismanagement and not caring for you, because sometimes it's direct wickedness if you see the life of some of our people over there.
Yeah, all right, Carla. So
there's hard time everywhere in the world. We are not blind to that, but there are some, basic services that the resources should be used on, so that this country can see the light of the day.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. So let me pick up our last caller, yeah?
All right, sir. Thank you very much and keep up the good work.
Thank you, too, for calling.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, caller? You are our very last caller. So when you don't, just save this number. The other number is WhatsApp number, but a lot of people call on the WhatsApp number, all right? What you got to say regarding the topic tonight? Be snappy, please. I got to go to bed.
Yes. The first thing is, I just listened to the last caller. I want people to know that most of the guys who are running for political power right now, they are just all to steal and to pocket themselves. The first thing is the newest man on the political platform right now, Alexander Cookie. That particular statement that he always saying is extremely wrong. But because people are not educated, they don't read, they don't make research, so they keep following it. That they cannot keep doing the same thing and expect to result. That is a lie.
But what he's doing, he said it now, his behavior has defeated his own statement.
Do you know the rightful thing is, you cannot keep doing the same wrong thing and expect good result. There is no way you establish which one is going to create Jesus on this earth that he said, follow me, follow me, follow me. That man following him, the word of God. They are not getting big results. They are doing good things. Because when you do good things, the signs and wonders will follow you. Good things will follow you. So it is wrong to always keep listening to this thing. I don't know how to report the good message and tell me he needs correct. Everything that he doesn't know, he doesn't know from people go. But the rightful thing is you cannot keep doing the same wrong thing and expect good result. You cannot keep doing the same bad thing and expect good result. But you cannot say you cannot keep doing the same thing. You can do good thing and definitely you how? Oh my God. Anyway, let me leave.
Just leave Alexander Kumi alone because Alexander Kumi want to be president and you now want to be president. You ready for that?
No, who knows? Who knows?
So you could just keep it in a basket. When you go to the debate, then you go debate it.
Yes, definitely. So one thing people always get to know. I'm listening to the political issues that are unfolding in Liberia. People keep doing the same wrong thing and expecting Liberia to develop. If you look at the fact that you look at the fact that see for instance the man Prince Johnson, there is no doubt that Prince Johnson killed though. It is still on the internet. It is anywhere around the world. He cannot delete it from the internet. There is no way. Prince Johnson should even be senator for Liberia. The time that I was.
But I have a question for you. Before.
Why did I speak against this kind of thing when I was in Liberia? So it took me a lot to know at this Prince Johnson is right now. A person calling him Godfather. Godfather for what? You know what I mean when you put God behind somebody? And Prince Johnson come up to say that he's not going to support
Judge WEAH.
And everybody saying, oh, this won't happen. For me, I don't want Prince Johnson to support Judge WEAH.
But Judge WEAH want Prince Johnson support. Why would you say that?
To be president. Judge should not be president for the he's not fit.
Okay.
I don't want even go vote for Judge WEAH.
Okay.
And one thing that I want everybody to know, I listened to Prince Johnson the other day. Prince Johnson, the name Prince Johnson should not. I don't have problem with the people having university in Lima County, but that university should not be named after Prince Johnson.
But at the main university, why would you say that it might not be named? It might not be named after him. Why?
You can own something. What about Facebook? Why is Facebook not named Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg made a decision because he the one invented Facebook or he founded Facebook. He made a decision to name it the way he named it. He got his own reason.
Let me tell you, names have effect. You think what could you say in the name of Jesus? One person speaking in the name of Jesus.
Mama, we're not bringing our gospel story here tonight.
That means there's some kind of purity. Same thing for instance, if your son graduated from Lima University, that university is named after Prince Johnson, and you're going to meet other students from other countries. You're going to do background.
My brother, I forgot your name. Let me just say something quickly. I said you the last caller, but it looks like the conversation getting interesting. let me just say something. Let me ask you a question, okay? Let me ask you a question. You said something before coming to the other side. You said Prince Johnson, nobody's supposed to call him Godfather. In the first place, it PU very bad when you hear his name because the way he killed Doe, right? But this is my question to you. Everything Doe did before coming to the war, the Prince Johnson, Charles Taylor, and the rest of the guys' war, you think it was right as a president to do what he did to the Nimba people?
He was wrong.
Okay, good job.
There is no way you can support anybody to take another person's life. There is no justification. I am speaking to you.
But if we are to blame people, then we should not only single out Prince Johnson. If you're talking about Prince Johnson, you should also talk about Doe, because our people say one cold spoon can make noise. And moreover, Prince Johnson was not the leader of our country at the time. Samuel Doe was the leader of our country, and the Constitution said he needed to protect everybody. But it used to go on the national radio and single out one group of people because they come from a particular region that somebody came from there and made palaver with you, so nobody should live there. Then that's a problem, including children.
My issue here is Doe is dead and gone.
Yeah, but Doe is dead. That's the thing that got Doe to be dead. Because Doe wanted to totally exterminate one group of people because they were called Gio and Mana people, and their brother came from there and felt, how they call it, disenchanted, let me use their word. And so nobody should live there to be called our name. And he was a leader.
Yeah, which is wrong.
So I would think Nimba people right to call Prince Johnson their godfather because he was the only man that stood on their behalf. And today Doe is nowhere to be found.
Let me tell you something. The issue about Doe getting in that position when he was in power. You know, he was in power. And this why he was in power. He even built an SKD that called SKD Sport Complex of today. My
brother, if you go back to history, and go to Ministry of Public Works, that whole SKD building, Doja completed that place and put his name on it. Turbo started that project, you know that?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, good job. Good job. Go ahead.
We are moving forward. Right now, we are moving.
Yeah, but if we are moving forward, it's going to be extremely difficult. Those of us that did public policy, right? Why we included the Governing Commission doing our peace talk? Because majority of our trouble in Liberia is as a result of bad governance. The Governing Commission came into being. Eddie was the first chairperson, okay, before she became president. When she became president, she put Emma Sawyer there. Where is the Governing Commission today? What are the recommendations they're giving the government? This president doesn't even respect the Constitution. Now, majority of the Liberian people do not look at where people sleep, but they look at where you fall. You had a leader that suspended the Constitution for 5 years to do whatever they wanted to do. They didn't get certified. They go to democratic process. They rig the election. They follow one group of people. They want to exterminate that group of people. Then you're holding the other man held responsible that pay back. Then how do we do it? So the way forward with the whole thing here, we need to go back on the drawing board and implement the TRC report. There's no way you're going to plow a corn row with less in it. That hair going to lose it.
We're talking about...
Sierra Leoneans are not calling for anything they call war crime because they're done with it and they're moving forward. But we Liberians, we always want to protect our interests. My tribe, my county, my district. That's what those are the things we believe in. So if we need to prosecute people that bear greater responsibility, let us settle that framework. America said that we help her, that we give her money, and prosecute people and come up with a total closure to the whole issue of war. Anybody that talk about war, we put them to jail. We send them to court, they go to jail. That's what we need to do. That's why they put it in Rwanda. Okay? Regrettably, one of the participants in the war have become the darling of the West because of leadership skill. Okay? Paul Kingali. You can't even know that Paul Kingali participated in the war, but our 100 people that participated in the war, whatever they said before they participated, when they got there, it was like 360 degrees away from the reality of the matter. So my brother, just close quickly. I can't leave this caller here. I gotta call the caller here. If I don't do it, it will happen with me.
My own thing with the presidency thing is, see, we are moving forward. All right, there's no we can forget about the past while we are moving forward. So because of that, if for instance, no matter what, you were defending people when you say that's the law for self-defense, I was defending my mother, so I did. Okay, fine. So you are moving forward, and you are building. As you're moving forward, you are building for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So my own thing is, Prince Johnson said a story when I listened to me that his mother passed away. The people who killed his mother,
he gave them a job. Yeah, that's what he said.
So then, what I think that he would have done, it is stay for him. He will put different name on it. He said, Joe, never that is school.
Yeah, but why you want to tell the man how to name his school?
Not bear that name, because the thing is, that name is a name that is having stigma in the country.
No, but whether the name has stigma or not, that's what the man want for his own university. That's the man's own university, his own money. Government gave money to build it. So let him decide what kind of name he want to put on it.
Yeah, that is his own university. But the problem of pushing it in the house for them to sign it and make it a bill that it should be passed because he's a senator in
No, Prince Johnson argument.
Before you change it, it becomes difficult.
No, my brother, it looks like you didn't listen to that thing yet. I'm not saying totally you didn't listen to anything. Prince Johnson said he want the Congress, our so-called Congress, to make a university part of public university, which means the university will be getting budget. Even when he dead and gone, the university can function. There's a lawmaker in there that took issue with him. It was not on the basis of naming the university. If you want to get public money, taxpayer money, the university must not carry your name. That was that little argument. Okay, but your own argument is quite different. You don't want him to name it at all because Prince Johnson got stigma on him. But that had not been the argument. Prince Johnson.
We don't even have a standard in Liberia.
Oh, but you got people that finish high school, they didn't finish high school, so good, they're teaching other people to finish high school. My brother, conclude quickly. Let me pick up the caller and go. So I got to go push my cartoon tomorrow. According to Eugene Fagon.
No matter what happened, this issue about this university thing, no matter what happened, whether he's the one paying from his pocket. Think about what happened in the past. Even though you say you are doing it in good faith, because if you say for good faith, again, means when you put in that previously kill that you don't even supposed to kill, even in good faith, like what you are doing it. You're doing it because something will come inside his head. You know, but I'm telling you here that Prince Johnson, even building a university when you win his money, people graduate from that university, go to different countries. Today, people can come to America or go to Europe and they cannot do a good job.
Who told you that? Okay, so this is a thing now.
So background check for you. They say, okay, what kind of school you graduated from? Prince Johnson, what is that? They start to check. They go do research. The only thing that falls out from Prince Johnson is why he participated in the war. What he did. You know what's going to happen to you?
My brother. Our country.
It's not based on the individual, the thing, the physical person.
My brother, I totally disagree with you on that note. If you say Prince Johnson cannot get public money, the people should not give him public money until he put differently on the university, that's fine. Maybe that is fair enough because of public money and for the public. But for you to tell me, say, Prince Johnson got bad record when her whole president are killing people, including in the church, and will get SKD, you got no problem with it, named after him, that's a shame. In addition to that, our country is built on the kind of democracy that in America. Freedom of speech, right? Freedom of association, freedom of movement. Don't go to Prince Johnson University. Find different university to go to. That's not the only university in Nimba. Nimba has Nimba Community College. Go there. Don't go to Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson Akeda. So when you leave Nimba, you come to America, you will not have no problem. That's it. Don't go there. That's your right.
To name it, to pay the university to get money every year, you will be there at home, right?
My brother, that one lady that story. Prince Johnson working on WEAH. When they give it to him, they give it to him. He got the other fraud sitting over there, taking everybody's money, giving it to remove or to remove Supreme Court justice. Do all that funny thing. You ain't try about that. Private, let me tell you something.
Everyone of them just doing the same wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
They're all doing the same wrong thing. For the jobs we have. For me, I would say nobody's doing no political person that is in power when you have a second term or say you did not go in the first round to go for second round. Do not even support George WEAH.
Okay, my brother, thank you. Let me take the last caller. I got to. All right, my brother, thank you for your contribution. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, caller, you are our very, very last caller. I can't just let you go. So just be very snappy. I beg you.
Okay, thank you, Francis.
Oh, there's a female caller. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, man. I kept you so long. You are the only female caller. You know what? Take your time.
Okay. Okay, so the last bro, I stayed on the line so long and they wanted me to call. I disagree with him on so many things.
Of course, me too. I disagree with him.
I already told him. And then he said something about, Alexander Comey saying you can't keep doing the same thing and accept different result is wrong. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, that is not even Alexander Comey's code. That's Einstein.
Einstein, but Alexander Comey borrowed it too without giving credit to the paper.
Alexander Comey borrowed. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to put good or bad. You keep doing the same thing. What a good thing or a bad thing is that expect different results. They don't have to put good. If you keep doing good thing, you keep getting good results. You keep doing bad thing, you keep getting bad results.
Bad results. Why we keep getting bad results? And let me just sing this song for you, right?
That's what I mean. But you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results.
Let me just sing this song for you. 1980. 1980. I was 2 years old, but I heard this song.
And then.
Are you there? Just give me a few seconds.
People always talk about Prince Johnson being a killer. Yes, Prince Johnson is a killer. I don't like him. He got me. I don't even know what all Liberia people talk about, how great it used to be. Some of us don't even know what it is. We know the war, run away and came to America. And even though he wasn't the one who brought it, but he was a part of that. And like you said, it was something that started at revolution, whatever it was called, the war. It was a president that decided to eliminate a group of people because he had a problem with somebody from over there, which made no sense because most of the innocent people that got killed, they didn't even know this guy that had a problem with you.
No, they didn't know him.
They didn't even have food to eat. This guy wasn't even doing anything with them. And then you decide to get rid of everybody from that ethnic group or from that time of the country, that side of the country, because you have problem with 1 or 2 or 3 persons. It just did not make any sense. Though it was as bad as Prince Johnson was.
I would even say ugly more than Prince Johnson. To be a leader to do that, slaughter children.
Do that. And then all that killing they did in the church.
In the church on 13th Street.
We wasn't on the internet doing that. With this thing he started, it wasn't just that people he had problem with. It had different ethnic groups in the country. Everybody got killed. Because it was the war. And the problem I got with Prince Johnson is that when you come to liberate, or whatever they call them, your people, go to that person that is doing that thing that you don't like to your people. But instead, he was killing everybody and innocent people as well. This is where the problem comes in. And you talking about Prince Johnson, they got George Porter sitting in the House of Representatives as well.
Yeah, George Porter was, American people say, you're too rotten. We can't even keep you in our jail. They send him back to Liberia. He go to grand jury and make him representative because he cried.
All those people there, because you crime, because you, I don't care. This is what, like you guys, the other caller said earlier, said that the problem we have is the tribalism team, and because of my countryman, he killed him, so I got a problem with it. Doe was a good president, like according to people that he used to go out, he see development, he want to bring it to Liberia on that aspect. He was okay with doing that, okay. But the other part that when you the people is you never know the true color of the man when you give him power. I don't think people knew him to be that kind of ruthless person, and never wanted to lose power like this other knucklehead like that right
yeah,
now.
knucklehead. Come on, book out dancer.
Yeah, a football player like that right now. Everybody thought he was this, and Homo Nani, he's a fraud. And they're now killing people because they don't want to be. It's something about power that when you give it to people, I don't know the enjoyment from it. They don't want to let go. All the evil, look at all the twisty, black, ugly, chip teeth boy they call Jefferson because he running around killing people, doing all kind of stupidness. And stuff. So it's for you to come and put it on one person. Prince Johnson is a killer. Yeah, he did that. He was in the war. He claimed he can liberate and my kind of people, but people like Carl, where they say he was just killing innocent people. Like he want a woman, they don't want you. He would kill you. All they want. Those had nothing to do with Doe.
Yeah.
That's the part I got with it. So if you went just for Doe and kill his ass, I wouldn't have no problem. Whether he president, people can a sitting president. So a sitting president's life is better than the other people he was killing.
Yeah,
because he's
better than children.
What is wrong with these people? No one is above the law. You can be a sitting president, you're killing innocent people because you got problem with somebody, and you put babies. I don't even know they just want but what to eat, and something you killing all those women. What they gotta do with you?
Wickedness.
And nobody should kill you because you're a sitting president. What make you God because you're a sitting president? So I don't understand these people. I don't know because those people that say stuff like what he's from that ethnic group or whatever or what is depending on and saying stuff like that. It's very, very disturbing.
It is.
This is what, like you said, civilian have done that. They put it behind them. And some people need closure. Some people want Prince Johnson to be prosecuted, judge, but then other people walking around. But they haven't done that yet because Liberian can't go let go of the whole like my own of this and my own of this. Since with Haji Kurma when he died, he was our revolutionary, he was this, he was that. Haji Kurma also killed innocent people. This is what I said. If you just come and go after those people that are hunting you down, I don't think anybody will have
Haji Kurma forces killed my grandparents. Yep. That's what they did.
That's the problem I had. Innocent people along the way got killed. They got hurt for that. Because when you not take some drug or not do something, then you just killing everybody. These people throwing mattresses on our head, running away. They had nothing to do with these people that came after your people. But yeah, they were murdered. And then people are sitting there, because he killed a certain president, and then nobody, the Bible said that should not kill or whatever. But when somebody is coming after you, you would sit there and say, oh, God did not say that. God didn't say, oh, when somebody can kill you because I said that I should not kill you, but tonight, but the person will kill you. That killing is justified.
But my sister are not even cutting you right here in America, and I got self-defense lawyer.
Self-defense.
You see the 17-year-old more case in the court?
Being a good president, he wasn't just sitting there being a good president, protecting all Liberians, not saying tribe, not saying it. If Kumba came for him or whoever the other dude was came for him, if you can kill them, kill them. Because they're coming after you. But why do you...
When you kill them, you let it go. Don't follow his people or where he came from.
Yeah. Why do you have to turn on the whole county? Innocent people in our county, they not even know Kumba, they not even know how they were living, how they were eating, how they were suffering, what he didn't know them, they don't know him. But yet still you talk about lies because he shared the same tribe or whatever with those people, and because he's sitting president, so somebody kill you, then the person won't commit that crime. That is sickening to hear people saying stuff like that.
Yep.
Thank you for following me.
Oh, my sister, thank you. Everybody pressing your comment right now, so thank you. So just save that number, our regular number there, whenever we come on the show, even when I'm here with AB.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. All right, folks, so you heard it. This show is a fascinating show. You heard it? If we need total closure to our trouble in Liberia, especially the civil war, people need to be held accountable. People need to be held accountable. Okay? The baby was said their man can't sleep, they can't sleep too. And you know why? I know Liberia is a dominant Christian country, but we have capital punishment. One president that I remember that implemented that capital punishment, meaning you committed a crime, you kill somebody, you go to court, you are tried, and it is proven, you are convicted, they kill you. There are certain states here in America say hold fast to that law. Okay? That's those of you who are Christian, you say that Moses law there, but sometimes Moses law is good to stop the bad people from doing bad, especially leaders, my people, for God in heaven's sake. Leaders, people that will make leaders, heading our government. Beside God in heaven that we have not seen yet, the God that gave us the air that we breathe, beside that God, that supreme power, government all over the world represent that God on planet Earth. Especially Africa, country like Liberia, the president is everything. How can the president go on the national radio and television and want a specific group of people to leave? If they don't leave, they will have no life? You're telling me, for God in heaven's sake. For God in heaven's sake. If we're talking about Prince Johnson regarding the war, we should also start talking about where that war came from. The root of the war. Injustice. You know it? One man become president, suspend the constitution for 5 years. Everything he wanted to do, he did it. He said not certified. But go by the constitutional rule or democratic rule, he's still doing the same thing. How can one person come from one region and because of that children take trouble, they can't live no more? I'm not backing Prince Johnson, but at certain stand, I think Moses law is better. You want to live your own with God, go live your own with God. Nobody going to give me slap in my right hand and I give them my left. I'm not doing that because I'm not Jesus Christ. Go serve your God differently. There's trouble in our country. The trouble in our country, the only way we're going to get it resolved until we hold people accountable. And thank God Uncle Sensei they're waiting to help us. Because we're going to keep dragging, we're going to keep dragging. All my grandparents were killed. They have no association with the war. Who killed them? Le rebel. You know, photo all in Lofa County, everywhere we went, including our campus. Sometimes we see some of our people, they don't like it, but it is the truth. It is the truth. You can't do it. You carry all the windows and everything. Jidimbo said they came to defend the Mandingo people, but the very people that, even some of the Mandingo people, okay, let's put it constant because of their religion, right? Some of us who are Muslim, you know what they did to her in Lofa County? They brought them at my pa house to ground level. Because that was one of the most beautiful house. In fact, number 2. Beside the late Honorable Jesus Dono house. With sliding glass. They brought it down to ground level. Thank God, able to build it back. The people gather in their small town for traditional medicine. They kill all of them in Lehuma. Like the people who came to defend Islam, quote unquote Mandingo Islam. Majority of the people in Kolaun district, if you are under my voice from Lofa County, you know Kolaun, you know what I'm talking. It is true. Majority of the people are Muslim. Yidimbo K, the Kroma group, They let grow. Majority were Muslim. But what do they do to their own brothers and sisters? They kill them. They didn't do nothing to them. See pollute them. Lucky ball. Was it lucky ball or ugly ball? We saw them. They pour our own cocoa and coffee on our head. We carry to Guinea for them. That's how they treated us. They will go on campus and get out. They put got to close the school. That trauma, we're living with it. You think we can't sit down here to make a story? The truth hurts, but it heals. Liberians in our majority, until we can bring closure to this matter, we will not rest. We don't have no peace of mind. People need to be held accountable for this problem here. You pluck cornrow or maybe simple hair on legs, you're going to lose in it. When you get sore on your body, you can sit down. You can't sit down. It will hurt. So they're not talking about that anymore. They're done with it. Those of you that get problem with opposition not coming together, opposition coming together, you're the voter, they think easy. You vote for one person, you vote for Joseph Walker. Let the rest. Forget about opposition. Forget about EPP. Forget about CPP. Forget about UP. Forget about this. Forget about all the collaboration. As long as you know George were in fit for the presidency, he ain't even supposed to get it. But because of the same corruption, stealing public money, sleeping with women to give them job, taking money from people that need to get government job, they're not qualified, take money from them, and take everybody money and build home for yourself and send them to America. That's what brought the war. When they start to enjoy that immediately now, they are on top of the game. Nobody should live anymore. And nobody should say anything against them. But thank God for social media, internet, and smartphone technology. Nobody going to take that nonsense, that madness. No, we're going to talk. So, Liberian people, those of you listening to us, share the show. The number one danger to our survival as a people, as a country, is George WEAH. And don't say that it's in 6 and 7. I'm telling you. They're not in 6 and 7. We need to keep on trying, keep on trying, keep on trying until we can find the right people, the right leaders. Non-leader that will want to eliminate everybody from the specific country or specific region. You go to Liberia today, you know the anger on the street because of suffering, what people going through. People are literally walking, men and women talking to themselves. Let small thing pop up in that kind of situation, that kind of country, you see what happens. Our country is sitting there under danger, under time bomb. Under time bomb. Then the leader go to their own kangaroo church, and that's where they want to go speak. They don't speak on any meaningful issues affecting the people in the country. Loose talk. That's what they do. Auditor died. The president said they were having sex in the car. And the president we got right now. So my people, I stop in the area. It can't end. It can't end tonight, no commercial. But we need to have total closure to our situation. And the way to do it is to hold people accountable for the wrongdoing. Uncle Sensi, that will help. I support it. I support it 100%. Those of you that are waiting for opposition to come together, I don't think you're going to vote because they're not coming together. Because all of them got different agenda. All of them. And we don't know them yet. Because philosophers say the true nature of man, you can get to know the true nature of man when you give them political power. Especially in Africa, countries like Liberia. Because when we give them political power, they own everything else. They own all the women. They own all the money. They own all the properties. They got everything, including deciding your fate, whether you will live or not. Which is the total contrary to governance process in any democratic environment. Because those political philosophers that invented or that suggested the formation of government, it was because of protection. Because society is nasty. And it's still nasty even right here in America. That's why people take guns and shoot other people. Imagine we didn't have a government. Regrettably, in Liberia, the government is the one that melt crotted against its people, including George Weah. That's what we're seeing. That's why SSS personnel got shot multiple times. They're killing and murdering somebody who is not even near security. One of your girlfriends. Someone who is not near security called former Deputy Minister of Information. You heard it from Eugene Fagon. Findabondo. Oh, they make it himself. You see that? That insanity. Leadership insanity. Nothing there. It's empty. Democracy doesn't call for educated people or the smartest people. It calls for numbers. And that's the reasons why, besides George, we are the next person on the basis of numbers. It's just a blocker. And we haven't tried him before. It will go by the history. I will predate that Joseph Boakai will do better. Because Toba did better. He was vice president to Tubman 19 years. Joe Boakai was vice president to Ellen 12 years plus other, other positions in government. So let's try. Whether the opposition come together, they not come together, we the voters, we need to come together to vote for one person. The case is closed. We vote for Joseph Boakai, that's it. Those of you that dreaming about their Kumis, Boakai stuff, it's not going to work. Or Boakai Kumis, it's not going to work because they don't have the same agenda. They thought that they do, but they don't. That's why the CPB chakra. Opposition is not going to come together. The only thing that's going to unite the opposition when we go to the runner with flying colors. The rest of them will join Boakai. But at this moment, I don't think so. Because running May is based on trust. Same mindset. Do they have the same mindset? Boakai and Kumis? I don't think so. If they did, they're not going to split. Okay? So we the voters now, we got the power in our hands. October 10, 2023. We got the power. We unite behind one person. And that person is Joseph Boakai. That's what we need to do. We go to the ballot box and just vote Boakai across the country. We take the man from the executive mansion. And we put the necessary mechanism in place, including war and economic crime. We got to have a deterrent. Americans say that will help. Why you worry about that? Not only that, they will give you money because they already know our capacity is low. Our self-esteem is low. You see soldier people, they're all talking in our politics now because they hair rotting. Then what about the damper? That one that Momoy, like I said the last time. You can't say the total left in the fire, they ain't asking for the hay. No. True or any time you ever heard soldier people talking about the protest demonstration business? Brandon Samuka was there talking about the soldiers, the training they were doing. But right now, not even defense minister and the chief of staff all talking in our politics. They say they will follow their constitutional duties. But what the constitution say about the army? Loyalty to the state, not the president. And who the state represent? The state represent the people, not the president. But that's what we see now. So that's why we should move all of them. And the way we do it, once we remove George, we are all of them gone. The people in that parliament, we sifted them. Those who mean well, we leave them there. Those who don't mean well, we move them until they can get better. So my people, you're thinking, yeah. Don't forget, March 20, I'm going to be with you. We need to go and register to vote. Some are already helping with citizen ID, with birth certificates, so they can't deny our people from registering to vote. We need to step out there, March 20, all the way to May 11, according to Election Commission, to register to be able to vote on October 10. That's what we need to do. They're doing everything humanly possible to steal the vote. But we got to do what we got to do. If they win, they win. If they don't win, and they want to take it by force, a different story. You're thinking you have for coming. Somebody say, I'm angry, but who told you I'm not angry? I'm very angry. But what the people did to my grandparents, they killed them. They didn't do nothing to them. They were hardly in the butchers. Traditional men came in the town, say, you can't let me help. They slaughter everybody. Massacre in Lehuma. Those Koran people under my voice, you know what I'm talking about. That Lehuma massacre, you know how many people they kill? You know how many people they kill? Man, that made me very. You ask the people from Yando home. See your Polo, them were over there. They were bringing innocent people. They're calling them rebel or whatever, and killing them with bent knife. Answer they say. Then go to foyer. We were there. The pastor will pastor. They did the grabber. Okay? So I'm very angry. But the people in Liberia living with it, they're even more angry than I do. And that's why we should bring it to a closure, my friend, Brother Farah. That's what we should do. If you come from foyer, you know what I'm talking about. You saw that tall fellow with his hair all plaited, they call him Ugly Boy? I saw that man on your Balu place there. They will pour the coffee in the river, they put it on our hair. You know how that thing can get heavy? Come on, you might make me talk, man. But Father, I don't talk that thing, yeah? I'm angry. If you don't know, let me tell you now. I am angry. Just so you know. Alright? So, my people, you're thinking plenty, yeah? We stay on here more than expected, but you know, sometimes we do that. You're bye-bye now.